Students, you are requested to mute yourself.
Sir, I am done and I am making Kamalakanto Rai sir as co-host also.
Okay.
Kamalakanto Rai sir, what is the name by which you have joined?
KKR, na?
এক মিনিট একটু দিন না আপনি ডেস্কটপ থেকে জয়েন করেছেন না
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ও না 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 আপনি আমার লগইন দিয়েই করেছেন
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ আপনার লগইন দিয়ে করেছেন দেখলাম তো এইচএস মাঝি
দেখুন কমলাদা ইউ আর হোস্ট নাও
yes
okay now you can proceed and Swadesh sir I have made him co-host so that he can join the participants if someone else wants to join otherwise the meeting is on YouTube okay sir okay Swadesh sir okay please continue.
okay so Professor Rai, you can start now. Already I have given the introduction about you. So there is the important topic that will be discussed by you. That is the self and body. Okay, you start now.
So very good evening to our Professor Samantha sir. He is our friend, philosopher and guide in this respect, and best regards to Professor Samantha and all the students. Very good evening. Hope you are quite well. And after passing your vacation, you are now entering in the UHB class. This is the new topic. Okay, now I will start the sorry. What is that?
Yes, Kamalada, we can see your screen. Sharing again stopped.
Sharing হচ্ছে না কেন?
না শেয়ারিংটা স্টপ করে দিন তলায় ডান দিকে দেখুন একটা শেয়ার স্ক্রিন বলে অপশন আছে
দেখছি শেয়ার স্ক্রিন আছে করলাম তো
না 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 আরেকবার করুন
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে
শেয়ার স্ক্রিন ক্লিক করুন জুমটা খুলে শেয়ার স্ক্রিন ক্লিক করুন
শেয়ার স্ক্রিন
একটা পপ আপ আসবে
যা এর কোথায় গেল রে
আপনার স্ক্রিন দেখা গিয়েছিল তো শেয়ার স্ক্রিনটা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন তলায় সবুজ রঙের
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
ওটা ক্লিক করুন
করলাম তো কেন
প্রেজেন্টেশন পরে খুলবেন আগে শেয়ার স্ক্রিনটা ক্লিক করুন
শেয়ার হয়ে গেলাম রিজুম শেয়ার আচ্ছা স্টপ শেয়ারটা করে দাঁড়ান আরেকবার করছি শেয়ার স্ক্রিন হ্যাঁ শেয়ার স্ক্রিন করলাম শেয়ার
এবার আসছে আস্তে আস্তে হ্যাঁ এবার দেখা যাচ্ছে আপনার ইয়েটা স্ক্রিনটা ঠিক আছে আপনার যেখানে প্রেজেন্টেশন আছে সেটা ক্লিক করুন
হ্যাঁ it is seen
এবার আপনি ফুল স্ক্রিন করে দিন
ফুল স্ক্রিন করে দিচ্ছি
ওইটা না তলায় ডান দিকে ওই কাপ মতো যেটা তলায়
হ্যাঁ
ওইটা
ওকে
হ্যাঁ yes sir perfect
now today the topic is understanding harmony in human being. So So understanding harmony in human being, we are human beings actually, and we need to fulfill first understand ourselves. So what is a human being? The proposal is that human being is coexistence of the self and the body. So as all of you are well known about that, so human beings are the most important creature of God. So human being is the important part of the earth. So human being, so we should know, so what am I? What is the human being? What is the coexistence of the body and the self? So self is what we term as I, and the body is what we see with our eyes. That means there is a two distinct different in our existence, that is human being, that's I and the body. So body, which what we see with our eyes, that is we have two hands, we have two legs, we have one head, we have one nose, two eyes, etc., etc. But what is I? That is the we can start the looking at the needs, activities, and response of the self and the body. I mean the self. What is the self? So what is the self and what is the body? So to understand the two realities, we can start by looking at the needs, activities, and response of the self and the body. So what is the needs of the self? What is the activities of the self? And স্যার আজকে এক্সাম হবে কি একজন জিজ্ঞাসা করছে।
Okay, later on, listen this lecture. After that, you will speak. I already told you that.
Response of the self and the body. So activities of the self and the response of the self. So activities of the body and the response of the body and the needs of the body. So human being need self and the body. And before we are starting, we have explained that the body and the self, it is the coexistence in human being. So need for the self, need for the body. So need in time, that is happiness. Self, that is happiness, respect, and trust. It is to be needed continuously. That is in continuous process. And body, that is the physical facilities, that is the food and the clothes, that is the need for the temporary basis.
স্যার বলছি এইটাই ব্যান্ডেলে গিয়ে কাটোয়া হয়ে যায় না?
Yes.
বেশিরভাগ দিনই তাই আমি যে কনফার্ম করে
Mute yourself.
কিভাবে বাড়াবো কি তো এটা বাড়ো তো তাহলে
Mute
কাটোয়া
yourself.
ট্রেনে আছে। So in time, so happiness is continuous in process, and the physical facility, that is the food and clothes, is the temporary. So in quantity, if it is we are a judge in quantity, that is the happiness, it is the qualitative, and the physical facilities, that is the food and clothes, it needs that is the quantitative in nature, that is the limited quantity. You have two clothes, you have four shirts, you have four suits, and you have four houses, or you have some you need some food, that is you have to take one plate of rice or one plate of chapati, and etc., etc. That is the quantitative. And the happiness, it is not at all the quantitative, it is qualitative, and the fulfilled by the right understanding and the right feeling. So yourself, that is your consciousness, it is to be in right understanding and right feeling. And in case of body, the physical facility is required as physiochemical things. So there is a good deal of difference between the right understanding, the right feeling, and the physiochemical things. Activity, in terms of the activity, there is a difference between the self and the body. Activity in time means the desire, thought, and response. The desire, thought, and response It is the indigenous process and which are to be generated by self. That is the consciousness, the desire, thought, and response. It is continuous. And in case of body, the eating and walking, it is temporary. It is temporary. It is not at all continuous. So desire, thought, and response is continuous, but eating and walking is temporary. So response, that is knowing, assuming, and recognizing the fulfilling. And in case of the body, it is only recognizing and fulfilling. We should recognize our food and we fulfill our stomach. But if you are not able to knowing, if you are able to not able to get some assumption, then you will not be able to recognize that thing, and your mind will not be fulfilled. So in activity, there is a great deal of difference between the response in time, or in when the need is required. The need, when we are differentiate the body and the self in need basis, then there are so many difference. That is, in need, the happiness, it is the continuous, and the physical facility is temporary. And in quantity, that is, the happiness is qualitative. We can't measure in quantitatively. Okay, so physical facility is quantitative and fulfilled by right understanding and right fitting, and it is the physiochemical things. And activity in time, that is the desire, thought, and response. In time, it is continuous, and in body, it is eating and walking, it is temporary. And response, knowing, assuming, recognize, and fulfilling. And recognizing and fulfilling. Only body is recognizing the food and fulfilling. Your stomach, body is recognizing the some clothes or something, and we will purchase that. So only the recognition and the fulfillment is required for the body. But when you fulfill your mind, there are other things, that is the knowing and assuming. If there is a lack of knowing and assumption, so there will be not at all the recognition and fulfillment of your self. Okay. So needs of the self and the body. So what are the needs of the self or the body? The need of the self is happiness, that the feeling of respect leading to happiness. Feeling of respect leading to happiness. And while the need of the body is physical facility, that is the food, clothes, etc. So need of the self is happiness, feeling of respect leading to happiness. So body, self and the body, that is a good deal of difference. That is the happiness, and the physical facilities, only the food and the clothes. So all the needs related to the self are continuous in time, while all the needs related to the body are required for a limited time. So we take the food in a limited time for limited quantity, and we working in limited time. But our needs related to self, it is continuous. The happiness, we require our happiness in continuous mode. So this is one way we can differentiate between the need of the self and the need of the body. The other way to see the difference between the two is in terms of quantity and quality. The need for food is quantitative in nature. So we take one plate of rice, one plate of chapati, one plate of biryani, etc., etc. We can identify the quantity of food needed to nurture our body. Same is the case with the need of clothes and shelter, etc. So someone have 20 pieces of clothes, or 20 pieces of shirts, and 20 pieces of suits, and etc., etc. And so that is the quantity. It is quantitatively. So the other way to see the difference between the two in the terms of the quantity and quality. The quantitative in nature, that is the food in quantitative nature. The clothes, quantitative in nature. And the shelter, it is also quantitative in nature. So what is the qualitative in nature? So the feeling of the respect, that is the self trust, etc., is not quantitative nature. We don't say, today I got half kg of respect. So, or 2 meters of trust. It cannot be measured. It cannot be measured by meters or kg. So this is the feeling of respect and trust. It is quantitative. It is not quantitative. It is qualitative. So these feelings are qualitative in nature. The feeling of respect, trust, etc. It is not quantitative in nature. So now let us see how these two different types of needs are fulfilled. The needs for food is fulfilled by something physical, but when it comes to the need for respect, it is fulfilled by the feeling of respect. So needs for food is fulfilled by something physical. But when it comes to the need for respect, it is fulfilled by the feeling of respect. So there is two distinctly different things. There is the physical facilities and the self facilities. These are two different things. So all the needs related to the body are fulfilled by some physiochemical things. And all the needs related to the self are in terms of feeling, and they are fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. So right understanding and right feeling, these two words are too much important. The right understanding and right feeling. If you are not able to understand rightly, and then your right feeling will be not rightly, and then recognition will be wrong. So that is the self will not be satisfied. So self, the activities of the self and the body, if we are taking in the activity, the self has the activity of desire, thought, and expectation. D, T, and E. Desire, thought, and expectation, which are continuous. So desire, thought, and expectation, if anybody, these three terms are not in his or her mind, so he or she will not be fulfilled as a total human being. So on the other hand, any activity of the body like eating, walking, etc. is temporary in nature. So self has the activity of desire, thought, and expectation, and it is indigenous things, and which will be uh, uh, propagated by your mind. So desire, thought, and expectation. So it has some you are able to you have the thinking ability. So that thinking ability is such like that. That is the you have some recognition capacity. So that's why you will be fulfilling your mind. So self has the activity of desire, thought, and expectation, and which are continuous. On the other hand, the activity of the body like eating, walking, etc. is temporary in nature. So there is a good difference between the self and the body. So what is self and what is body? So we now the response of the self and body, if we culture our response, the response of the body is based on recognizing and fulfilling, whereas the response of the self is based on knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. The four terms, that is the knowing, assuming. As human beings, you have a brain. So you have to have some knowing ability, you have to have some assumption ability, so you have to have some recognizing ability, and you have to have some fulfilling ability. So self is based on this knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. The recognition and fulfillment of the body is definite, while that of the self is determined by the activity of assuming. As assumption changes, the recognition and fulfillment by the self also changes. So assumption, if the assumption, there is a change of assumption, then your recognition will be changed. So fulfillment by the self also be changed. So knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling these four things, the four parameters, this is also required for this, the important part for your fulfilling or the recognizing or assuming or knowing something. So the conduct of the human being basically depends upon the response of the self, as all the decisions are made by the self. So before taking any decision, so you have the these things are to be required. That is the knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. So without this, you will not be able to take the decisions. So only with the assumption set right, that is assuming based on knowing, which is definite, can recognizing and fulfilling be set right. And only then the conduct can become definite. So this is a very important part. This slide is very important. Your conduct of the human being basically depends upon the response of the self. And all the decisions are made by the self only with the assumption set right. If your assumption set wrong, then your assumption, all the knowing, which is the recognizing and fulfilling, that will not be set right. So, and only then your conduct and that will be indefinite. So the conduct is totally depend upon on your knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. Okay, so the response of the self and the body, all the problems of human being are due to assumption without knowing. Assumption without knowing, and the solution lies in ensuring the activities of knowing. This is possible only through education sanskar. That means human beings are due to assumption without knowing. That is, there may be the communication gap. So your without knowing, if you assume something, there may be the communication gap. So and the solution lies in ensuring the activity of knowing. So this is the very important part, and this is possible only through education sanskar, and that's why it is only in our education facilities, it is inducted. Actually, we are getting the education in your not the value-based education. We are skill-based. We are giving you the skill-based education. So education sanskar is there required. So what is knowing, what is assuming, what is recognizing, and what is fulfilling. So if there is nothing, we are not giving you the proper education, then you will not be able to, your ability will not be developed. So knowing, assuming, recognizing, fulfilling, and if we go to the next slide, it will be very clear. So knowing. So resolution, how the resolution will be coming out. So assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling, that may be a problem. And problem, how the problem will create, that is the preconditioning or assuming without knowing. So something we are assume something without the knowing, without the cause behind it. So then the conduct will be indefinite, and it is totally dependence. That is what we call, that is paratantrata. That is the preconditioning. Something is someone is dictated. Okay, we are dictated by someone. So education sanskar, education by which we can your knowing will be the resolution will be there, and the problem will be solved by the education sanskar. That is the knowing through self verification on the basis of natural acceptance and assumption is definite, conduct is definite. So knowing through self-verification, this is a very important part. Knowing is knowing through self-verification. And if you are not able to capability to the verify the something, your self-verification capability is not, then you will not be able to recognizing or fulfilling yourself. So on the basis of the natural acceptance, assumption is definite, conduct is definite. So the problem will be solved by getting some education sanskar, and you will be all the problem will be the resolution will be taken by knowing through the self-verification, and on the basis of natural acceptance, assumption is definite and conduct is definite. So your assumption, it is the indigenous thing, and if there is some knowledge is required, if you are applying your mind, your indigenous things from your which is organizing from your brain, then you will knowing through self-verification on the basis of your natural life. This is the capacity, the knowing through self-verification, not depend upon someone. That is all the all is called the preconditioning condition. So preconditioning. So self is the consciousness entity, the body as the material entity. So what is actually the self and what is actually the body? So self as the consciousness entity and the body is the material entity. So without consciousness, as a human being, you have to have some consciousness, and if you have fulfill your consciousness, then you will able to recognizing, fulfilling, or your desire, your thought, your expectation will be fulfilled. So otherwise, it is not. The self and the body are two different types of reality. The self is the domain of consciousness. Okay, self is the domain of consciousness. Your consciousness will be originating from your self. So, which is characterized by the activity of knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. So, this is a very important part. Self is the consciousness of entity, and the body is the material entity. And the self and the body are two different types of reality. The self is the domain of consciousness. Okay. So, which is characterized by activity of knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling. So, if you were able to analyzing these four things, that is the knowing, assuming, recognizing, and fulfilling, then you'll be a total human being. Otherwise, your body will not be differentiated by body and self. Your body will be the material entity. Whole body will be the converted to material entity. If your self is, if you are not able to analyzing, if you are not able to knowing something, if you are not able to assuming, if you are not able to recognizing. So these are the main things. So happiness is need of the consciousness, and it is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. Happiness is totally depend upon your consciousness. Happiness is not at all depend your total of your body. It is total depend on your mind. Actually, the right feeling, which are the activities of consciousness is itself. And so happiness is need of the consciousness, and it is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling, which are the activities of consciousness itself. So the body is a material unit, and its needs are material in nature, and they are fulfilled by physiochemical things. So it is a totally we are if we are separating two things, we are able to separate that what is our body and what is our self, that is the consciousness, and it is totally be separate to what totally be separate things. That is from our self, that is the consciousness entity, we are able to knowing, assuming, and recognizing and fulfilling. And that's why the happiness is totally different. It is the need of the consciousness. It is not the happiness of the body. It is need the happiness in your mind. So body, in other case, the body is a material unit, not the consciousness in entity. It is the material entity. So it needs are material in nature. Material means that is food, that is clothes, houses, cars, etc., etc. And they are fulfilled by physiochemical things. The body is the material unit and it needs are material in nature. That is, we take some food, we take some liters of water, with some liters of drinking glucose or something like that, and we need some protein, we need some carbohydrate, we need some foods, we need some clothes, we need some one house or two houses. It is physiochemical things. All are physiochemical things. So there is actually no matter is not depend of your consciousness. So happiness is need of the consciousness and it's fulfilled by right understanding. Okay. So next, self as the consciousness entity, sorry. So to understand the human being, both the domain of consciousness as well as the domain of material needs to be understood. So domain of consciousness and domain of material. Okay. So domain of consciousness means self and domain of material means body. Okay. For human beings, both domains need to be fulfilled separately. For your body, you should take some nutrients, but for your mind, you also need some nutrients, but other type of nutrients. That is the recognizing, that is the desire, that is the thought, that is the expectation. Okay, this is the difference between the body and the self. So human being is coexistence of the self, that is the consciousness, and the body, that is the material. And this can be seen on the basis of exploring into the need, fulfillment of need, activity, and response of the self and the body. So in particular, the response of the body is definite, while the response of the self depends on assuming. So response of the body is definite, and the response of the self depends on assuming. Okay. So with assuming based on knowing, the conduct of a human being gets the definite, otherwise it is indefinite. So with assuming based on knowing, the conduct of a human being gets the definite, otherwise it is indefinite. So without knowing, the assumption will be indefinite. Okay. So evaluation of current situation. What is the gross misunderstanding? What is the gross misunderstanding? Human being. It is the misunderstanding that self means it is the whole body. No, need, respect, that physical facility. It's the gross misunderstanding. Only the food, only the clothes, it will not fulfill our selves, human beings. Only the physical facility will satisfy the animal being, not the human being. You have to have some ability to thought, you have some thought process, you have the desire, you have to have some expectation, you have the thought, desire, thought and expectation, you have the recognizing and assuming. So this is also from your mind. So it is continuous or unlimited. The need continuous for the self, and the unlimited, it is the unlimited in case of the self, but it is limited for in case of physical facility. And accumulation of physical facility, if it is unlimited, then deprivation. More we need, more we want, that is the deprivation, and dissatisfaction will appear. So accumulation, unlimited, feeling of deprivation. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. He has 4 shots, so I have also 4 shots. So this is the feeling of deprivation and unlimited wanting. So there is a effort for physical facility. So human beings are actually they are running behind the other things. That is the unlimited physical facility. They are running behind the unlimited physical facility, and so there will be the feeling of deprivation. Okay, and the feeling of deprivation will lost your health. You lost your health as well as lost your mind. So due to overuse of physical facility, there are widespread repercussions at every level of human existence. On the other hand, there is exploitation of natural resources for more and more physical facility. So people need so many houses. So they will destroy the forest. They'll destroy the agricultural land. So there are more and more physical facilities, and they will destroy all the things. So human beings are exploited in the process, and also they're made to compete for the limited physical facility. This is the main problem in total universe. It is going on. So we are running behind the physical facilities. Okay. So, and we are getting some sorts of deprivation. And due to over physical facility, there are widespread repercussions at every level of human existence. Okay. So, only way to come out of this misunderstanding is to understand the human being as it is. The self has to be understood as a conscious entity. If we are not able to understand the conscious entity, we will not able to fulfill our mental ability. So, and body as a material entity, these are to be differentiated by ourselves. Until and unless we are able to differentiate it, then we will be running behind the physical facilities. So their needs are different, activities are different, response are different. So physical activities needs, it is different, and the mental, that is the self consciousness activity, this is different, and response also different. So basically there are 2 different entities coexisting as a human being. That is the body and the self, that's the consciousness. So needs of the self and the body are of 2 different types. So they have to be fulfilled separately. A gross misunderstanding is to assume the 2 to be the same. And this leads to the feeling deprivation and exploitation. This is a very important part. So what we are doing in present days, the needs of the self and the body are of 2 different types, but so they have to be fulfilled separately. But a gross misunderstanding is to assume the 2 to be the same, and this leads to the feeling deprivation and exploitation. This is the main thing. Now the happening in uh, present scenario in universe. This is the happening. This is going on. So we need to understand the two different things, our body and the self. If we are not differentiate, then we will be running behind the physical facilities, and there will be some getting some deprivation, and we are deprived of getting some something like that. We are very, very disappointed if we are not getting the same. Okay, so this is only the key takeaways. That is, the needs of the self and the body are two different types, so they have to be fulfilled separately. So it is the misunderstanding, gross misunderstandings of human beings. But as we are human beings, we are not the animals, we are the superior creature of God. So we have to have understand these two different things, that is the body and the self. Okay. So, may I continue, sir?
Good. Hello.
Hello, sir. May I continue?
Continue.
Okay, okay. Understanding harmony in the self. Now, we will explore the activities of the self and see how harmony can be ensured among all the activities of the self, resulting into a state of continuous happiness. So, activities of the self, the activities of the self can be seen in terms of desire, thought, and expectation. And desire is the name given to the activity of imaging. And you are making an image in the self, and desire is in the form of an image which you have created within. So activities of the self, your activity, that is your desire, your thought, your expectation. So activity of imaging, you are making an image and in yourself. So desire is the form of an image. So thought is the power of the activity of analyzing based on comparing various possibilities to fulfill your desire. So as a human being, your thought process is the power of activity. If you are lacking of thought process, then you will be lacking of analyzing the something like that. So analyzing based on comparing various possibilities to fulfill your desire. So, and the expectation is the power for the activity of selecting based on testing. Activities of the self are continuous. These powers of desire, thought, and expectation are inexhaustible, and the activities are continuous. Okay. Yourself, your consciousness, that is the entity. So that the consciousness domain, from that domain, your desire, your thought, your expectation will be generated as a human being. And if you are not able to generate the thought process, you are so that's why we are human being, as the thought is the power for the activity of analyzing based on comparing various possibilities to fulfill your desire. So that's why we are human being. If you are not separating it from the animal, then your body is a body. Your body will be the single entity. Okay. So expectation is the power for the activity of selecting based on testing. Activities of the self are continuous. These powers of desire, thought, and expectation are inexhaustible, and the activities are continuous. Okay. So the activities of imaging, analyzing, comparing, and selecting, testing are always going on, whether we are aware of them or not. It is always going on in our mind. And the analyzing capacity is imaging capacity. It is in your mind also. You have to have some ability to culture. nurture. Okay. So these activities together constitute imagination. If human being, there is no imagination, there is no fulfillment of his or her desire. So imagination is main thing. So we may not immediately be able to observe our desire, thought, and expectation distinctly, but it may be easier to see that something is going on within. It is going on within. In our mind, it is always going on. But we have to explore it. We have the capacity to explore it. If you have not capacity to explore your desire, your thought, your expectation, if you are not constitute your imagination, then you will not be a human being. You will not be entitled as a human being. So our imagination, one imagination or the other is going on in us all the time. One imagination or the other. So it is always going on in us all the time. So it is that is to be cultivated. Okay. So we have the power of analyzing power. So we have the power of imaging power. We have the power to fulfill our desire, fulfill our thought and expectation. So these are the power you have. So by education, Sanskar, this power that you are not to be misunderstood by this. So that's why this education is necessary. Okay. So happiness and unhappiness depend on the state of imagination. If your imagination is in harmony with your natural acceptance, you are in a state of happiness. It is very important. If your imagination is in harmony with your natural acceptance, you are in a state of happiness. So your acceptance will not be unnatural. It will be natural acceptance. So when it is contradiction with your natural acceptance, you are in a state of unhappiness. Okay. So it's a very, very important thing. So your happiness depends upon you. Your happiness depends upon not by your teacher, by your parents. Okay. So happiness is totally depend on the state of imagination and is in harmony with your natural acceptance. And you are not able to accept the natural acceptance. And when it is in contradiction, you are not able to accept that natural acceptance, then you will be state of unhappiness. So imagination is expressed to the world outside in terms of behavior with the human being and work with the rest of nature. And we have also referred to imagination as what I am and the natural acceptance as what I really want to be. So we have also referred to imagination as what I am and the natural acceptance as what I really want to be. Okay. So the natural acceptance, if there is a contradiction of natural acceptance, then unhappiness will be appear. So this is required. You should have to adapt yourself with the natural acceptance. So state of imagination, once you start looking at your imagination, you will be able to find out the state of your imagination. Once you start looking at your imagination, you will be able to find out the state of your imagination. So if you are not, if you not start looking at your imagination, you will not be able. So this is one thing. That is the power of imagination within yourself. And it will be propagated by yourself. So possible source of imagination. What are the possible sources of imagination? There are three possible sources of motivation for imagination. That is the preconditioning, sensation, and natural acceptance. These three are too much important. What is preconditioning? What is sensation? What is natural acceptance? It will be discussed. That is the dominant source. A dominant source of imagination is preconditioning. Preconditioning means the beliefs, the notions, the norms, the ideas, the views, the dictums, the goals, etc. This is called preconditioning. The notion, norms, ideas, views, dictums, goals, etc. It is the preconditioning. And if you are depend totally on preconditioning, then you will be misguided. Your imagination is always be required. So prevailing in the family, in the society, which we have assumed without knowing. So it is prevailing. Something is prevailing and we are accepting, but not. Then it is not fulfill your imagination. It will fulfill, not fulfill your dream, not fulfill your activities, not fulfill your desire, your thought, your expectation. So they may influence our imagination. This preconditioning method, that is the beliefs, that notions, that norms, that ideas, the views, dictums, these also influence our imagination. So another major source of our desire or imagination is the sensation. So sensation is very, very sensitive term. That is the sensation. So sensation is the information we get from the body through the 5 sense organs. That is the sound, the touch, the sight, the taste, and smell. Sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. This is the 5 sensation. And imagination is the sensation. So your sensation is the information we get from the body. So sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. And sometimes we are not believing ourselves. We are always follow the prevailing system. That is the notion, norms, ideas, views, beliefs, and dictums, etc., etc. So this is the one table that how the ability and activity and the self-verification and the swatantrata and paratantrata. That is the your preconditioning level. What is the preconditioning level? Content of imagination, the desire, thought, and expectation, and the what is the information from the body, and what will be your behavior, what will be your work, and what is called enslavement. That is the paratantrata. If your sensation is not there, then if you totally depend upon the dictums, upon the goals, upon all the things that is the prevailing matters, then your enslavement is there. That is called paratantrata. Okay. So here is a preconditioning, self, preconditioning, enslavement, paratantrata, etc., etc. This is the one fine picture by which we can analyzing yourself. What is the activity? What is the ability? What is the ability? What is the activity? What is swatantrata? What is paratantrata? What is the enslavement? That is the enslavement, paratantrata. So we are totally dependent upon the preconditioning things. Okay, that the dictums, that the goals, etc., etc. Okay. So the third source of imagination is our natural acceptance, and it
আজকে এর পরে আপনার ক্লাসে কি লেস্ট পোরশনটা আপনি শেষ করবেন না আজকেই করে দেবেন?
না, যেটা বলবেন তাই করব। যদি বলেন পরের দিন, তাহলে পরের দিন হবে।
হ্যাঁ, দেখুন আপনি তো দুটো ভাগ করে নেবেন, যতটা আপনার আপনি যেটা ভাববেন।
হ্যাঁ, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে একটু থাক আজকে।
আজকে থাক, এই পর্যন্ত হোক যে আমাদের সেলফ এবং বডি এবং ন্যাচারাল আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং এত হলো, সেইটুকু এরা গ্রাস্প করুক, এবং কালকে আমরা যেটুকু হয়েছে সেটা ওরা একটু এই পিকচারটা দেখুক, তারপরে পরেরটা নেক্সট ডেতে হবে আর কি। এই জিনিসটা
ওকে ওকে ওকে, নো
দ্যাট উইল
প্রবলেম।
বেটার, কারণ পুরোটা ওরা হজম করতে হবে তো, এবং ওদের মতো ভাবনা করে বলবো।
Students, if you have any question, you may ask today.
Already sir, that has been discussed by Professor Rai. If you have any question, if you ask anything, the beautiful topic is being so many examples, so many explanation he has given. If you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, tomorrow we'll listen what you have learned, okay, and feedback. So today the 5 minutes, we are giving 5 minutes to you. If you have question, you can. Someone has written, sir, how will you get the notes? Any Telegram link, okay. So anyway, sir will be giving you the PPT already that I've given to you. Please listen. I told you, you follow the lecture, okay? What you want to understand in these things, what the sir is telling from each explanation. You try to understand, not that you have to copy all the things in your mind, okay? So it is the concept level, not in knowledge, okay? That is what he is telling to convey the concept that you actually imitate, not the materials, So last I have told you. So that is why if you any clarification, if you need any clarification, there is any question regarding these things, you ask today. And next another class will be the controlling part of the lecture. It will be done in another day. I'll inform you on which day, or 15th or 18th, it will be taken. So that day, he will speak on that. So, he's telling that today that before that, the picture that has been given the last part, that will be the today's syllabus, Next part will be discussed on Netherlands. And you will also repeat it, some synopsis of it. So anyway, tomorrow we'll discuss, you will discuss what you have learned, So I'll be requesting sir, if he be connected tomorrow at least for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then it will be that he will speak some synopsis, then we'll ask something from you. And that will to give you the feedback. So that is from the side. If you have any question, you can ask. Anyway, you have written something. If you have any question, anyone? I have already told you the masters of interaction. I think the somewhat very important thing. What is the DL happiness, and what is the relation between eye and body, and also some natural acceptance. So many things he has given today. Okay, at this time is 7 to 8. So let's end now. Any question? Am I audible to you? Hello, students. Anyone you speak? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tomorrow you'll join at 4 p.m. So let's end now. And concluding part of this lecture, of this topic, will be given by sir. It will be on 15th or 18th. I will inform you. Okay. So another information to you that the first module, it had been over first November. So it was supposed to give you a link. You can the link for the test by Professor Prakshit Takida. So anyway, he has not been able to send it. So I think tomorrow or day after tomorrow he will give it. Okay, that is not the matter. That is not the matter of worrying. So anyway, today's lesson you try to understand, and tomorrow we'll discuss again. Thank you, sir. Let's end now. Okay, I think if you have any comment.
So, okay, dear students, I think you have clearly understood what is self and what is body. And if you are not able to differentiate these two, then you will not be able to exist as a human being. Okay, so as we are human beings, we should know our consciousness and also as well as our body. So what is the expectation of body and what is the expectation of mind? It is the main thing in today's class. Okay, so if that is okay.
In English, Bengali, whatever you can like, you can ask. Hello. Bolo? Hello, কিছু বলতে চাইছো তুমি বলো? Any language you can speak. Hello.
Hello, sir. I am audible.
No, he is not audible.
Yes, audible.
Sir, is it possible that you can share the PPT in Telegram group? This PPT? It will be helpful for us.
It is possible, no, sir?
It is not audible. I didn't.
Yeah, the PPT, it is possible to share in their Telegram group.
Yeah, I have sent my PPT. The first lesson I have given to the Telegram group. So it can be sent, you know. It can be sent. Okay. It will be sent.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So thank you for joining, listening.
Thank you, sir.
It's a very interesting topic. And I think if you able to understand what is your body, what is your mind, then you will be able to fulfill your mind. Otherwise, no.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Follow.
Sir, could you please send the PPT before the feedback session?
Before the feedback session. Okay.
Anyway, it will be sent by sir. Okay. We'll be trying to that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
listen at, because tomorrow is the feedback session. Just you will understand it and they will give feedback. After that, it will be given to you. Okay, if it is possible.
Okay, sir.
To not to get the PPT is the main is not the main focus. You know, main focus of our lesson. You know, to know, understand. Okay, what you are understanding, and main thing is that whether you are listening properly or not. That is main target of that. Actually, I have already told that you just connected but you are not listening. Okay, so only the if it is possible, then it was better to send you the only PPT and they will appear the test. That is not the motto. Motto is the master some interaction, master some discussion, master some concept transfer. That is your main target. So PPT getting or PPT sending, it is the main, it is not the main criteria of our PPT class. I have already told that you listen properly. If you want to interact, directly interact. Otherwise, it is not the test like other subjects, you know. So subject is not in our general classes. There is a CGPA courses. You are taking so many notes and you are preparing so many things. You are spending so many nights, and after that you are producing, reflecting in your examination. That is not the process in this type of classes. It's a concept of the non-CGPA course. You have to understand what you feel in this sense. That is why you must have some interaction with you. Any question we are telling every time you ask these things, sir is here, we are here, we'll discuss main things, you know. Okay, so that is the main thing. If you follow the things in serially, then I think, is there any lacuna, then ask. I think some of you, they have not followed it. That's why I'm telling you, follow the class properly and regularly. That is the main thing. PPT getting or sending, it is not the main criteria of this lesson, of this classes, you know. Anyway.
Sir, hello.
Sarthak
Bulchi. Good evening. Sir, as you have said, trust, faith, and respect are the part of self. So, if I talk about expectation, so what would be your answer? Means how I can categorize it? Means expectation.
Okay, sir. Professor, will you speak?
Okay. Actually, these are thought and expectation. These are the three distinct things which we have to accept. That is the expectation means that is in your mind you are thinking about something about the society, about your parents, about your universe. That is the how you fulfill that is that things. That is the expectation. When you fulfill that thing, that is the your that desire and that thought. That is the that are the expectation you that is fulfilled by you. So suppose you are a student and you like to contribute something towards the society. This is also the expectation. Okay.
Ji.
So your expectation from the side of yourself and the side of your body, that is totally different. Okay. Expectation for body is food, but the expectation of the mind, also the food, not the food like rice or chapatis or something like that. The food of the mind is separate thing. That is the thinking ability. That is the thought process, and that is the expectation, and that is the recognition. That is the fulfillment. Okay, so your mind, that is the self, your consciousness. Okay.
Sir, should we focus on expectation or hard work? As the sir, I don't know his name, respected HS his name. So, উনি
হ্যাঁ
বলেছিলেন ক্লাসগুলো হয়েছে, তো ওখানে রেসপেক্টেড যিনি টিচার ভাগবত গীতা থেকে একটা কোড বলেছিলেন। তো
হ্যাঁ
স্যার আমি
হ্যাঁ বলো, কেটে যাচ্ছে, শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
You also speak with one thing.
am I audible?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শোনা যাচ্ছে, বলো।
তো বলছি স্যার, আমি আমার ওয়ার্কের উপর ফোকাস করব না ইনস্টেড অফ ফোকাসিং অফ মাই ওয়ার্ক আমি আমার মানে এক্সপেকটেশনের উপর ফোকাস করব, মানে আমি আগে এক্সপেক্ট করব না আগে আমি হার্ড ওয়ার্কের উপর ফোকাস?
দেখো, হার্ড ওয়ার্ক, এক্সপেকটেশন, এগুলো অ্যাকচুয়ালি তুমি ফোকাস করবে কি তার উপর ডিপেন্ড করছে, তাই না? সেটার উপর তুমি কি হার্ড ওয়ার্ক করবে, তারপর অ্যাচিভমেন্ট, তার এক্সপেকটেশন। ওকে, তার মানে তুমি একটা ফোকাসিং কোথায় করছো তার উপর তো এক্সপেকটেশন থাকবে, আদারওয়াইজ না। হয়তো তোমাকে গীতাতে বলেছে যে মহাফলেষু কদাচন, এরকম একটা শ্লোক কেউ বলেছে হয়তো, যে তুমি ফলের আশা করো। অবশ্যই আমাদের যে এক্সপেকটেশন, এই এক্সপেকটেশনটা সেরকমই, যে আমি একটা, শোনো, তুমি কলেজে আসছো, ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আসছো, একটা অন্ধ লোক রাস্তা পেরোতে পারছে না, তোমার তখন এক্সপেকটেশন কি হলো? তোমার তখন থট প্রসেস কি হলো? যে আমি তাকে হেল্প করব, ঠিক আছে, এটুকু এক্সপেকটেশন। এখানে কি তুমি কোনো ফল পেলে?
না,
পেলে না, কিন্তু তোমার মাইন্ড একটা ফল পেলে, তোমার কনসাসনেস, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য হ্যাপিনেস। ওকে,
ওকে,
দিস ইজ অলসো দ্য এক্সপেকটেশন। এই যে তোমার এক্সপেকটেশনটা তুমি ফুলফিল করলে, এইটা তোমার হচ্ছে হিউম্যান বিংস, এটাই মানবতা, এটা হচ্ছে ইউনিভার্সাল হিউম্যান ভ্যালু। আমরা কি করি, আমাদের ভারতীয়রা বাবা মাকে আমরা দেখি বুড়ো বয়স, কিন্তু অন্যান্য পাশ্চাত্য দেশে তারা বাবা মাকে দেখে না, তারা অন্য জায়গায় থাকে। এখানেও সেরকম কালচার আছে, কিন্তু আমাদের দেশে আমরা দেখি, আমাদের আমাদের সেই মানে রিয়েলিটিটা আছে। অর্থাৎ আমাদের পেরেন্টস এর উপর কি কর্তব্য, আমাদের টিচার্স এর উপর, আমাদের সোসাইটির উপর কি, আমাদের এনভায়রনমেন্টের উপর কি কর্তব্য, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য এক্সপেকটেশন। অ্যান্ড এটা ফুলফিল হয় তোমার মাইন্ডে, এটা কোনো পাওয়ার ব্যাপার না, এর মাইন্ডটা ফুলফিল, দ্যাট ইজ ইউর এক্সপেকটেশন, দ্যাট ইজ ইউর ফুলফিলমেন্ট, দ্যাট ইজ ইউর অ্যাচিভমেন্ট। তুমি একটা গাছ লাগাচ্ছ, কিসের জন্য গাছ লাগাচ্ছ? আর তোমার নিজের জন্য কি না, এনভায়রনমেন্টের জন্য, যে একটা এনভায়রনমেন্টে অক্সিজেন দেবে, মানুষ বাঁচবে, ওই যে বলছেন আমরা পৃথিবীকে বাসযোগ্য করে যাব, এটা ইট ইজ ইয়োর এক্সপেকটেশন। এই এক্সপেকটেশনটা ফুলফিল হলো কিভাবে? তোমার কাজের দ্বারা। ওকে, এটা হচ্ছে মাইন্ডের ফুলফিলমেন্ট, মাইন্ড ফুলফিলমেন্ট, নট বডিলি ফুলফিলমেন্ট।
হ্যাঁ, এই প্রসঙ্গে আমি একটু বলি। Expectation have two components, right? Expectation and expectation of your body or mind, So you must have some expectation, that is expectation make you a target. Okay, expectation will give you a drag to have a target. So main thing গীতা যেটা বলা, গীতা তুমি যেটা কোট করলে, সেই expectation fulfill হতে পারে না হতে পারে, that's the thing that doesn't depend upon you, সেটা আমাদের হাত নেই। কিন্তু না হলেও কিন্তু তাদের যা কিছু ওরি করার দরকার নেই, বাট ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডিউ টু এক্সপেকটেশন, ইউ হ্যাভ টু গো অ্যাহেড। Okay, that is the main thing. That is hard work. Okay, so as per your right expectation, you have to go ahead, you have to hard work, but the effect of that, the result of that may be fulfilled or not fulfilled. Don't worry about that. Okay, that can be explained in such a way. Anyway, sir, any other questions? So, very good question. No doubt.
My contribution towards the society, that is also the expectation. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll discuss so many things in this respect also. Okay, at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let's end now. Sir, we are concluding this now.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.